Family, welcome to another episode of Financial Freedom. I am your accompaniment on this journey, Derek Brown. I almost forgot my own name, man. Crazy. Anyway, so we have a great show for you today. As you know, it is Women's History Month, and of course, we've had some fire ladies on here before that was bringing you all types of great knowledge and wisdom. But we have another one I'm going to bring you, and she's from Austin, Texas. She graduated from Texas State University. Then she came to Atlanta, went to SCAD, that's Savannah College of Art and Design. Then she also became a strategist in advertising, traveling around the country, helping banks and other companies rebrand. Then she's working with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution now as a customer experience product manager. I mean, she just has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and I'm really, really happy to be here for her to be here. But before I introduce her, I gotta say thank you to people who watch first. I gotta say thank you for those who've been tuning in. Y'all know we started March 2020, and it was in the midst of a pandemic. We were trying to provide inspirational and information to people that needed something to get them going, being locked in, and it was difficult. But you all stuck with us, and we went from one show to over 35 shows, from 10 million views to 45 million views internationally. And it's because of you that we're still here. So I have to say thank you. So like, share, subscribe at The Hope TV. One word, all caps, at The Hope TV. Now let's get back to this woman who is pretty awesome. Her name is Samantha. And oh man, this is going to be good. Ladies and gentlemen, our expert for the evening, for the day, for the afternoon, whenever you're watching, Samantha.
Hi, thank you for that amazing introduction.
Look, I'm trying to keep it together. Okay, so Miss Samantha Johnson, um, you have a product coming out that I want to make sure I highlight because there are so many different things going on, and the focus of the show is financial innovation, and you are doing exactly that. So tell us about this new thing you got coming out. Let us know about it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So it's called mindful budgeting, and it started out with just a little idea and honestly out of desperation. So I was in grad school.
Okay.
Okay, that's how literally everything like starts out, right? So
Hey,
yeah, I was
the
in
mother of
grad
anything.
school. And I was just wondering like why I could never keep money in my pocket, basically, and just wondering where my money
That
was
is
going.
interesting.
So I just got tired of it, and I made an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm just a very visual person, so I made the Excel spreadsheet, but I wanted to know what, like, how much money I was going to have in my bank account after everything
Mm,
was calculated, and then
right.
know when I would potentially be overdrawn. And I really thought I was onto something. And I was like, okay, if it's helping me, I wanted to also help other people too. And so I reached out to my really good friend. His name's DeQuinn Wonquo. And he was so interested. He's like, yo, I want to be in it. Like, let's do it. We have to do it together. And so ever since then, we've been really just trying to make the app better and just like make it better than what it is right now. And then we brought in a developer. His name is Adrian McDaniel. And now all three of us, we're just trying to make sure that the app is where it needs to be so that we'll be able to launch. So it's like I said, it's called Mindful Budgeting. And we just basically give you like daily budget each day. And then that way you can be
Okay.
able to figure out, like what you can actually spend, right? And then we have a
Wait,
calendar
hold on a
view.
minute. So
Go
you
ahead.
you give
Yeah.
them a budget?
Yeah, yeah. So we do the budget based off of your recurring expenses. So it's really awesome. We use this app that's
Okay.
called Plaid, right? And what
Okay.
it does is it'll take
Don't be
all
giving up
our
all your secrets now. I don't want you to get hit for intellectual property. Don't be coming back like, yo,
no,
Dad, I
no.
told you on the show, man, and they got me. Mm-mm.
I'm just saying we didn't want to deal with any information, and Plaid is
Right.
amazing. We don't have to
Okay.
take in any information, nothing like that. So a lot of big companies start to use Plaid now. I'm just giving them a little shout out because I really do appreciate what
Okay.
they did
All right.
for people
All
like
right.
me.
Fair. I got you. All right. Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got you. I like it. So that is literally innovation. There is so much time we spend on our phones. I'm literally, recording the show from my phone. Good, bad, or ugly. That's exactly what's happening right now. So, that's incredible. So I've heard people say before, necessity is the mother of all innovation, right? You said it while you were in SCAD that, look, I was trying to figure out where my money went.
That's it.
Um, when you came up with budget mindfully, was it this idea that uh were you intending to brand yourself, or was it just something that kind of was like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. This is a thing. I did a thing.
Yeah. So it just really became a thing. I do a lot of projects, and yeah, I do a lot of projects, and this one has been just really near and dear to my heart. And like I
Hmm.
said, I have two other people who work with me, and we have another person,
Hmm.
Jessica Lopez, and she did the brand for us, and she's like one of my really good
Right.
friends.
Hmm.
It's just, the people who I know, and then we still have our full-time jobs. So it's just like what we
Right.
can do to get things done. And I'm really thankful because we've been working on this project for about 2 years, and it's only been like
Oh,
3 to 4 people really working and just hustling on it. And we just really
right.
want to own it. We want to make sure that
Yeah.
all of the right design and also the back end, all the
Mhm.
coding work is correct. We're dealing with people with financial information, like the
Yeah, that's
information that we
kind of
give you needs to be right, okay?
right. Right. That's mm-hmm. Because I love God, but I'll get on you about my check. So it's
What's
it's
up?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for real. So so let me ask you this, right? How do you how do you define yourself, for lack of a better word? Because when I look at your experience, it's kind of like you're creative, but on the other
Yeah.
hand, you also have this financial piece and strategy piece that almost kind of suggests a a I don't want to say creatives aren't strategic. I'm not saying that. God forbid. But it looks like you
Right.
have
Don't
a
come
very
back.
technical, I know, right? Um, it looks like you have a very technical side too that
Yes.
allows for a lot of strategy and discipline. How would you define yourself?
I'm glad that you asked that because I would say that honestly, I've now been able to come to terms with like my two styles of my brain. So I have like this
Okay.
left brain, right? Yeah. So I have
Okay.
like the
Like
left
two
brain
styles. All
where
right.
I'm
All right. I see.
super technical. And
Okay.
then I have this right brain where I'm very creative. And so whenever I was
Hmm.
young, my mom, she just had me in all of the sports, all of dancing, just all of the extracurricular activities. So I was active
Right.
24/7 in my childhood. So I thank my mother for that.
Okay.
And also, she told me that
Hmm.
I can literally do anything. So
Okay.
with that and having all that confidence that she instilled in me and me taking a lot of leadership roles in church, always just standing up for people, working in nonprofits. I always just wanted to be a problem solver. So with being a problem
Okay.
solver, you have to figure out what is functional and then look at
Hmm.
how you can actually create an impact for others. And then that's whenever
Right.
you start using the tools that you know to start designing. And that's how I approach my life. I just want to make sure everyone's having a good time, but then also that what I do is very functional and very helpful for others. So that's where all like the technical side comes into play because I love Excel spreadsheets. Yet I also love to be super creative and
Don't
and just
don't
be
be
on that
personal.
side. So
Who, who says that? Who says they love Excel spreadsheets? Like
I love
seriously.
Excel spreadsheets.
Oh no. Oh my God.
I
Oh my
just like
brain.
organization. That's basically where it comes from.
I mean, I like to organize too, but I ain't hopping on Excel like, oh my God, +4 equals the two with the nah. That's a whole formula. You're talking about a whole
Give
formula. I
me
ain't
the
doing that.
formulas. I need it.
You you can have it. You can have it. So with all that being said, right? So you just said, yo, I still work a full-time job. Me and my team is still doing things. We have a huge hustle and grind mentality right now, especially my millennial Generation Z, a little bit of Generation X before us. Would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur? Is that how you would describe yourself?
Definitely. Oh my goodness, definitely. Oh man. So I, I'm over here like lost for words right now because my family, on my dad's side, man, they are the hustlers. Like my
Right.
dad, he's amazing at what he does at his craft, and he tints windows, and he's been doing that for so many years, and he knows so many people. It's all about networking,
Right.
And then my aunt, who also lives here in New York. I mean, I do have an aunt who lives in New York City, which I love, and I have an aunt who lives here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
she's a hustler, like she's the ultimate hustler, and she has like the most beautiful spirit. So like couple that with my dad's side, and then on my mom's side, my mom is the plug for everything, so whatever that you need she can literally get. Like my
Love it.
mom's amazing,
Like,
she's
mama,
awesome.
my tires are flat. Go look in my purse. Just go look in my purse. There's some tires in my purse.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about
Got
just
you.
knowing everybody, but like really about a relationship. And so it's really how you make people feel. And as long as you can just be helpful towards others, like then people can really see what you can do and what you can provide, and the rest will come.
Is that?
God will put
Let me ask you
that in
about
your
that.
path.
Let me, let me ask you about that because we've had several shows before, and we've kind of had mixed reviews. I'm going to ask two questions. Was it because of your background and being around your mother, your father, these hustlers, these people who had these great relationships, that said, I have to have, I'm gonna go follow this spark? Because a lot of people have good ideas, right? And but
Mhm.
we've all heard the common phrase, the most wealthy place in the world is the graveyard, where all the ideas went with the people who died, who never used them.
Yeah.
So do you think it was that background that really prompted you to go chase after this app to really make this other app happen?
Yeah, man, it's in my blood, like entrepreneurialism is definitely in my blood. And it's just the people that I surround myself with too, like my friends and my
Hmm.
family, my loved ones, just the people who have a
Yeah.
drive to really make a change. And so I feel like it is an innate fear that you have, but also you can learn it too.
Hmm.
Just because maybe you're not around those, like your family members who probably don't have that drive, doesn't mean that you can't have that
Right.
drive. It's just really surrounding yourself around people who just want to do better, and that's the people who I surround myself around. And I definitely would
Mhm.
love to be around people who just want to make
Yes.
their environments better. I love that.
With that being said, do you personally believe that everybody should be an entrepreneur?
Um, I'm gonna say no. I like one. Obviously, you can do that, but also it's not for everyone too. A lot of people are comfortable with where they are, and I think that's fair. It's
Right,
up to them, to make that choice. I
right.
believe everyone can definitely be one, but should everyone
Mhm.
be one? No, I don't think that's like a need, because also we need people who are going to do the work for us too. We need those people who
Very true.
are
Very true.
down
Very true.
with, being on the ground doing that. But also we need people like the entrepreneurs who are more of the
Right.
strategizing proponents of the idea itself.
So, not everybody's an entrepreneur. Do you think everyone should brand themselves?
Yes, definitely. Especially right now, man. Like we are talking like through a video camera at the moment. You have to brand
Right.
yourself, and you have to be okay with who you are too. And I know that's really hard because, we got Instagram and all these other social
Right.
media that will kind of, deter you from really wanting to be yourself because maybe you didn't get all these
Right.
likes or something. So
This is true.
important to, yeah, right, it's really important to just sit with yourself in that silence, like peace be still, sit with yourself and just really understand what is it that I want. And even if I don't want that, or if I don't know what I want, God, please
Mhm.
just like lead me in the way that is best for me. Like we don't know anything, so I think it's just really important to have an open mind.
I saw a meme the other day. Speaking of Instagram, I saw a meme the other day that said, "We are a sad generation with happy pictures."
Oh,
And it spoke to this idea, like it was like, wow, like it's, but it spoke to this idea that sometimes people be fronting on the gram, and really they're not really being themselves. But it was
I
just, it
know.
was a lot. It kind of hit me like, wow, like wow. But
No, honestly,
yeah,
it's true. That is
wow.
very true. I think it just comes from some of our insecurities, and
Mm,
we want to be keeping up with the Joneses, but the grass is not green on the other side. We all know this. Um,
right.
I just hope that we can all just start retreating into ourselves and really trying to understand who we are as a person and then share that
Mm,
gift because we all have gifts to share. We don't have to be like everyone else just to get these likes. So
right.
I just hope that when people are rebranding themselves is that they look within and not look out to share what's already there.
I think it's interesting because basically what you're saying is people are going to brand themselves on purpose or an accident,
Yeah.
and you should really do it on purpose if that's going to be
Exactly.
the case. Um,
Yeah, tell your own narrative.
right. Let me ask you that though. I find that some creatives on their journey to financial freedom have a hard time kind of monetizing their skill set, right? What I find is that sometimes because when you're creative, it's just part of your fabric. It's kind of just what you
Mhm.
do. And I've noticed some people like I may look at you and go, yo, man, like if you hadn't come over and reorganized my garage the way that you did, I would have never found my car. Like it would have never happened. And you may go find him or her, and she has this massive knack for strategic thinking and organization, but it's so ingrained in that person they don't
Yeah.
even see it until someone else calls it out. How do you
Mm-hmm.
go about that kind of when do you make that leap from saying I'm really good at this to monetizing something? Because you made that leap. You went from I love Excel spreadsheets to I'm gonna make this into an app. Like when did you say this needs to be an app? Like where's that leap in there?
Oh my,
Like
it
you see what
was
I'm saying?
it was immediately after I started seeing success in my own bank account, honestly, and I knew that it should not
Oh,
stay with me at all. Like this is something that would be definitely impactful for others. So it wasn't
okay.
more of like me being afraid. It was just more like, yo, everybody needs to have this. Like this needs to happen at the moment right now. Um,
Okay.
and then I just, did some research. I did research on like a subscription platform. And
Yeah.
so what we're going to
That's right.
do is just have like the first month for free. And then this month, that's
Mhm.
whenever we'll start paying.
I gotta get
So
hooked.
yeah, exactly. Gotta get them hooked yet first. And then also gotta let them see if they like it or not. And like
Right.
I'm making this
Right.
for the people. I'm not making it for me. This is not for me. I just want to make sure that it can impact
Mhm.
others and that way we can all try to live like, this financial freedom life, honestly.
Shameless plug. I appreciate you. But
Yeah.
uh it seems like you had a lot of belief in what you had created. And that's interesting. I catch people who are just like, yeah, well, I do it. It's just what I do. There was a belief there that what you had was valuable. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with the world. Whoever's gonna pick this up, I'm gonna share. What tips, if you had to give 3 tips to our viewers about their potential skill set, recognizing their potential skill set.
Just to really believe in yourself and
Okay.
and not wait for other people to tell you what you're good at. However, if you do
Mm,
have to wait, that's another avenue to go down too. So when people are constantly telling you like, yo, you're really good at organizing, can you come over
mm,
and organize this, or you keep on getting like 2 and 3 just multiple people tell you that, then you really start to sit with yourself and understand like, okay, this is my
right.
strength here, and
Right.
understand what your strengths are in the beginning, so that way you don't have to have people to tell you that one. And once you start sitting with yourself and understanding what your strengths are, that's how you can really start to monetize yourself, monetize your brand, and take it higher than where it is right now. I hope that was helpful.
No, that is helpful because I think what you said though is that sometimes you gotta trust people to call out your skills when you don't see them.
Mhm. Yep.
And I think that goes back to what you said though, is that you have people around you who want to grow, who want to do better. And that speaks to our circle as well. Because if I have people
Yes.
around me who I know want to do better and I know want to grow, and they call out, hey Derek, I think you're an amazing speaker, you're an amazing organizer, you're an amazing this, you're an amazing that. I can actually trust these people and say, well, I know they ain't blowing smoke. They wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. I think that
Exactly.
makes a huge
And even
difference. A huge
yeah, and
difference.
even sometimes, you know, your friend is a bit more nicer to you than other people. So it is
Right,
important to get like some for sure be like, yo, tell me like straight. Is this where what I should do, what I shouldn't do? But like I
right.
said too, it's really upon us to sit
Mm,
with our I keep on saying this, but to really sit with ourselves and understand what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, you know, like what are my opportunities, really understand that and just check in with yourself daily. Do devotionals. I do devotionals in the morning just to make sure that my mind is right before I give my time to others. So
right.
that's really important.
Let me ask. I may have a skill set, right? And I may be like, oh man, I'm excellent at this. When do I reach out to a branding professional? Like, do I just start and then I come back to that later? Or do I need to start branding? Because you said not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, but we should brand ourselves, right? So if I'm
Yes.
like, yo, man, I'm excellent at this, at whatever this is, I'm excellent at painting, right?
Hmm.
Do I just go out and start painting and get the branding professional later? Or do I say, okay, I know I'm good at this. I'm knocking this down. I'm gonna get this branding professional right now. Is there a method to it, or do I just get started and worry about it later?
So, you know, there's a lot of answers, but it all depends on
There
what
is.
you're
That's true.
willing to do, you know, like either do you have that capital to reach out to a branding professional to one, help you build your brand? That's one. If
Mhm.
so, hey, go ahead. Two, there's another option of you just getting your feet wet. Things does not they don't need to look perfect, you know, 24/7 just for
Yeah.
you to get you just for you to understand if you're good at it or not.
You already answered this question. Um, you already answered the why that prompted your app. You've
Yeah.
answered that question. Um, what have been what are some of the difficulties of answering that question? In the way that you did, because you created a mindfulness app and you understood the why of what you were doing it. But I'm imagining there were some difficulties with it that
Yeah.
maybe if you had a mentee, you would tell them, hey, be prepared for this.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
there are some real successes to it that you would probably tell a mentee, hey, but when you get through this is eventually going to come. What are a few of those kind of difficulties we should be aware of when we're trying to financially innovate? And maybe a couple of successes you achieved on the way.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Definitely. So I would definitely say, um, in the beginning, let me go back. I'm very like a literal person, especially like in my design layout. Whenever I would
Okay.
like meet with my friends who are graphic designers, I would
Uh,
design something and I would actually go and actually design what I wrote down. And they're like,
okay.
this is it. This is all that you're doing. So I say that to say is that whenever you're designing for UX and
Mhm.
what you want your app to look like, it will
Hold
definitely
on.
be different.
What's the UX?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So UX is user experience. And so
Thank you.
that is basically what we see. Say like we use Instagram for an example. We go on Instagram, we
Mhm.
see the images and then the description and stuff like that. There had to be a lot of iterations, which is like a lot of different drafts that gets you
Right.
to what we see now for Instagram.
Okay.
So my drafts in the beginning were just not even like what it needed to be. And I was so focused on what the whole app should be looking like when I
Right.
should have just been focused with what will the function be. And so it's instead of making something, you know, look good, really try to
Mhm.
make that UX flow um, right for the user itself. So that is that one that I would definitely suggest. Like, just don't
Okay.
focus on the overall thing. Make sure it works.
That's kind of
And
important.
then it's very important. And then I would also say that have patience. I have two other business partners, and like I said, we've been in it. It's been to Kim and I at the beginning, and then we brought on Adrian. And I would
Okay.
say just be very, very patient. I did not know a lot about coding or anything like that. And
Right.
working
Okay.
with those two, I've learned so much on of the back end and what we can and what we
Right.
cannot do. But then also how we can be flexible. So I would definitely say just be patient, because you may think that you want to launch something, in 2, 3 months, maybe even 5 months, but then like
Right.
later on down the road, you're still at the beginning trying to understand all this code, or just really trying to
Right.
understand how you can implement it on the back end, also on the front end, and
Right.
then on in the database itself. So there's just like so much to it that you're like,
Yeah.
what? Why can't we get this done now? But we can't get it done now because of the big web that it's in.
That sounded very multi-layered. Um, I just that man. So let me filter that through my Derek filter. And what I feel like that said to me was, um, one, thank God I have a team because I don't have to do all this by myself.
Preach.
You're gonna learn a lot in the process, and be aware of your customer's experience of whatever you do. So if I'm branding myself, if I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, if I'm trying to monetize my gifts and my skills, I need to be aware of the user experience of of me whenever I'm on the website or whenever I'm engaging with someone. They need to be aware of my experience, and I need to make sure my team is smart and able to educate me on stuff that I ain't got. And
Yeah.
that's, yeah, oh man, that is a journey. And be patient. Be patient with your product. And I would imagine you knowing your why makes a huge difference in being patient with your product.
Definitely, because your why is your North Star, It's what will help you get out of your
I've
own
heard
little
it.
weeds. Yeah. And I would even say just to take a step back, I just came back from vacation, and
Come on,
I
vacation.
am so, come on, vacation. Let's go, vacation.
I need somebody to smuggle me in a suitcase. I mean, I'm tall, but I can fit. Jeez, I just need
Yeah, but
one.
honestly, it really helped me see what was important, what I was holding on too much to, and just to be very, very grateful with the life that I have and the people who helped me get here. So definitely patience is so important, because you just don't want to put anything out there. And I'm serious about that. You do not want to put anything out there. You want it to be right. But then also there's a point where you just need to fly. So I think that's the point that we're
Hold
getting
on, let
to
me
right
ask you about
now.
that real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you about that real quick. When do our considerations become paralyzing? When
Ooh,
was your cutoff to say, okay, hold on, I'm thinking too much. If I don't get this out, it's not gonna get out. When did your when did your considerations become procrastination at that point?
exactly right. Because then that leads into paralysis of analysis type of thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, I would definitely say when I'm just talking about it too much. When you hear yourself talking about where you at
Mm.
and it's the same status update, and that's when you that's when you're like, okay, I need to do something different. I need to pivot, or, what is allowing me to stay here? And am I willing to take that step forward to make a change in the status update itself? So, yeah, I think when you start hearing yourself saying the same stuff to different people, then you're like, man, I think,
Right.
yeah, I need to change some things.
Got you. How important how important should or should not, that was just an ugly question. How important are dates in this process? Not like going out having
Ooh,
coffee, but like actual
yeah,
deadlines, like dates as far as, because I'm kind of, I have to be careful with myself because I notice when I set a date, I will like practically darn near kill myself to hit this
yeah,
deadline. So I've noticed I have
yeah.
to be very careful when I set dates. So in this kind of thing, do dates help kind of stop the analysis paralysis? Like, is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, it does. So, you know that I love Excel spreadsheets and I'm a very, very organized person. I was the one in the beginning where was like, I need this, and that to happen on these dates. Like, We're not going to make our
Okay.
goal if we don't hit these dates, you know?
Right.
And I would definitely say that on one hand, it's so important to have those dates to move your company forward. On the other hand,
Mm,
I think it's important that we give each other grace because we're,
mm,
for our team, we have full-time jobs, and that's something I have to
right.
really understand with my team, because in the beginning, you know, it's my baby, it's my idea, so I'm so passionate about it, where I would work on it for weekends and days on end in coffee shops at Octane,
Right.
and just really
Right.
trying to, you know, like beat myself over the head with this deadline. But I put
Right.
that on myself. And so sometimes it's not helpful, it's not healthy to do that. And I think that's
Okay.
something that we should all consider, that just because there is this date, this imaginary date that you made for yourself and your team, doesn't mean that it's going to get met. However, you should always strive forward and then understand, okay, like if we don't make this, then how will it impact, and is it a high risk? And if it's a high risk, then that's how you assess the situation.
Mm, okay. I was trying to figure out if I could sneak in another question before we run out of time, but I don't think I can. But thank you. That was actually a perfect way to end because there is so much that goes into innovating that I don't really think we see. Because I really thought creating an app would be easy. I
Ooh,
did for a long time until I began to talk to people like yourself and realize how many stages and progressions and teams you need. And I just did not know you needed all that. And yeah, that's a lot.
it's a lot. It's a
Man,
lot, but I would say just to get people who think differently than you, who
mm,
know more than you, and then also they have a specific skill set that your app
mm,
needs. Don't get the same. Don't get the
right.
people who work the same as you, or who know exactly what you know, because y'all are going to be stumped together, you know? So definitely like get people who know what you don't know.
So I take it because and I could be wrong. You kind of got this, what I think is an excellent, almost business education from your family, in the sense that you know how to network. Like you know how to keep
Yeah.
relationships. You know how to keep people who ain't nothing like you in the same room without everybody killing each other, which I think is an excellent skill by itself. Um,
Yeah.
that's oh man. So we definitely don't need to be the smartest person on our team. We don't have to strive
Never.
for so much control, even though it's our baby. We're kind of allocating that
We gotta let
responsibility
it
to other
go. We gotta let
people.
it go, let it flow, let go of your ego, you know, like just let it be. The team is here rocking with you because they believe in what you created. They believe in your idea, but just because it's your idea doesn't mean that you need to be the sole person creating it 24/7. You know,
I
like
gotta
in
ask you this, or else it's gonna kill me. I
go
gotta
ahead.
ask you this before it's gonna kill me. How do I protect my intellectual property?
Oh
Like
Lord.
I bring on
Everybody
this
always talk about
team
that. That used to be
because I
me in
just
the
feel like
beginning, like,
somebody's
yeah,
asking that question.
everyone's gonna steal it. Yeah, they're gonna steal it from me.
Yeah,
Okay, one, it we just said it takes forever to
everybody's
basically make
stealing
an
from
app,
me.
right? It takes a long time to make an app. So people have to be very, very
Okay.
dedicated to steal your idea. If they're gonna if they're gonna take it from you, that means that it's an easy idea. You need to come up with something else, honestly.
Oh, oh,
Ooh,
that was
show
a that
did.
was a that was a gut punch right there. That was
Ooh.
ooh. Is your idea is too easy, and therefore you didn't deserve it in the first place. Ouch.
I didn't say you didn't deserve it. I just said that you got to come up with something new.
So the innovator is telling you to be innovative. I got it.
Yes.
I got it. I got it. Miss Samantha Johnson, tell us where we can find you and all of your beautiful innovation and this app that's going to be rolling out, blowing everybody's mind.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So y'all can go ahead and find me on LinkedIn with my name, just Samantha Johnson. And then
Yeah.
please visit our website at getmindfulbudgeting.com. So you'll be able to see just like an introduction of the app. We even have just like a pitch deck there, and then you'll be able to join our waiting list too. So please check us out.
Come on, waiting list. Get them in line and get it early. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I have been your accompaniment on this journey. Even though we've had some technical glitches, I sang a whole song to myself, but I'm back. I promise. I'll do better next week, so please forgive me. Yeah, I've been Derek Brown. This has been Samantha Johnson, my wonderful guest and family. We hope to see you again right here on the journey of financial freedom. Be well out there.